Hello, everyone. It's Luis Concepcion here from Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week 51 of 2023, just so that everybody knows. Happy holidays, and due to the holidays, this will be the last plan of the week for the year. So, hope let's finish strong and let's have a good week. So, as always, this is the disclosures. This content is for educational purposes only. I'm not providing any investment advice. This is not tailored to any one individual, and everybody must understand their risk tolerance and their time horizon. Past performance does not guarantee future results or success, and all investments involve risk, including the loss of your principal. As always, I'll be following the same agenda this week. I'll be covering the news, the market overview. This week is the last week of earnings. We only have 83 companies reporting. I'll cover the Mang stocks and the Magnificent Seven. For last week, we had provided 23 zones. We went 4 and 2 in stocks and options, 6 and 2s. There was no entries on 9 zones, and six uh six equities actually closed in the zone on Friday. As always, here's a display of the earnings that'll be released this week. I will not be covering all these companies. You can do that on yourself on anything that I don't cover. However, this is what the week is looking like for us, and these are the major releases. These were our entries for our correct zones and our incorrect zones for stocks, and that brings our total to 41 and 18 after 7 weeks. And I've added week 50 to the options, and our total is 41 and 8. Moving into our news for this week, on Monday, we really don't have anything going on for those for the U.S. markets. For those of you who trade futures and forex and currencies, understand that you have a report affecting the Australian dollar after market on Monday at 4:30 for the Australian dollar. And as you can see, Bank of Japan has their monetary balance, but they haven't released a time yet. So be aware that the Japanese yen will have some volatility after the market. For Tuesday, once again, nothing affecting the U.S. markets. However, those of you who trade forex and futures understand the Canadian dollar will be affected pre-market. Moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday, 30 minutes into the open of the market, we'll have a consumer confidence, and that should provide us some volatility on Wednesday. Moving on to Thursday, we have the final GDP of the year and unemployment claims, so we should have a little bit of volatility on Thursday. And lastly, on Friday, we don't have uh I apologize. We have the consumer sentiment at 7 o'clock. So 30 minutes after the open, we should have some additional volatility. And then pre-market, you got the GDP on Canada and actually the price index in the US. And that should be it for news. So that's gonna do it for us for the year on news. All right, starting with the charts this week, I'm gonna start with the SPX. As you can see, we came into our zone. We came in and we moved away. So for supply, there's a supply zone on the SPX is going to be 47.30 to 48.29. For demand, 45.19 to 44.84. We've had a nice trajectory run. Um, Powell said we weren't gonna raise rates, and he kept things cool for the end of the year. So expect us to go sideways to pretty much nowhere to the end of the year, and they're gonna keep us happy for next year. But you should be starting to put a plan in place for next year. So hope you're doing so. Next, we're gonna go to NDX, which is the NASDAQ. And as you can see, there is no supply for the NASDAQ that I have for you. The next demand zone I have is at 15,349 to 15,064. Moving on to the Dow. As you can see, the Dow made an all-time high on Friday, and there's no supply in the Dow. So the first demand zone I have for you is at 362.52 to 359.99. And lastly, for the indices, I have the RUT. So as you can see, the RUT does still have supply levels, and that level for the right is going to be 2025 with 52 cents to 2151. And the next demand zone I have for you is 1881.57 to 1847, and that's going to do it for us for the major indices. Moving on to this week's earnings. On Monday, I have Heiko, and the demand zone is going to be 171.15 to 167.68. There is no supply. As you can see, that 186.71 was the all-time highs. Next company, ACN. So for ACN, another company without supply, and the first demand zone I have for you is 320.23 to 310.78. Next company is FactSet, and the demand zone I have for you is at 413.97 to 410.13. And the supply level is 482.96 to 495.71. On Tuesday, we got FedEx reporting. For the demand zone, I got 249.71 to 239.94. However, we do have a supply zone here, 288.40 to 304.90. Understand that it's the holiday season for FedEx, so I'm not sure if you want to be shorting FedEx. However, this is the level I have for you. Just be cautious and understand that this is a bullish season for FedEx. This company reporting earnings is Worthington Enterprises, and for this, the demand zone I have is 47.30 to 45.15, and on the supply side, 70.10 to 72.70, 72.76. Moving on to Wednesday morning, General Mills, same levels as last time. As you can see, this was earnings last quarter, and our level held, and we're going to keep that level at 60.65 to 58.89 on the demand side, and on the supply side, we got 74.57 to 77.65. Next company for Wednesday reporting earnings, I got Winnebago. We might miss this trade. This actually closed into the zone on Friday, and it pulled. You see how it's pulling away already. So or it may sit here the rest of the week. So just be cognizant of that. And that supply zone is going to be 73.33 to 76.38. If we happen to stay here the rest of the week, you can take a shot at this. So just be mindful that we may have missed this trade if because currently it closed at 72.96, which is below our level. And on the demand side, I got 61.83 to 59.39. Moving on to Wednesday after market close, we got Micron. And for Micron, the supply level I have for you is 88.96 to 94.12. And on the demand side, 73.17 to 71.64. Moving on to Thursday morning, we got Carnival Cruise. And for the supply level, I have 19.17 to 23.74. And on the demand side, 14.97 to 13.86. For my aggressive traders, and another level here at 12.99 to 11.99 for the more conservative traders. And the lower level is where Carnival Cruise started its turn, and all it's been doing is up and going up since October, just like the market. Another company reporting Thursday morning is going to be CarMax. So for CarMax, this may be another one to be cautious of. As you can see, it attempted to come up here on Thursday. On Friday, it hit this zone and came down. So just be cautious with this level because it's already working. However, it is showing us that there is supply at this level, and that supply level is going to be from 76.71 to 80.16. And on demand side, going to do 68.01 to 64.68. Moving on to aftermarket close on Thursday. We got Nike. Nike treated us well last earnings. As for those of you who were in this trade and recall, We got long at $89, and you can see Nike's at 121, so it's treated us well this year. But we're coming into supply here, and it's at 124.99 to 128.71. And on the demand side, we got 102.83 to 100. That's gonna do it for us on the earnings front for this week. There are no companies reporting that I saw on Friday that are worth looking at. So take Friday off. Moving on to the main stocks, starting off with Meta. As you can see, our levels have not changed on Meta since uh, I started covering this back in October. This level's still holding, and we closed in there again on Friday. So that's going to be 335.18 to 352.16. And on the demand side, still hasn't changed. 275.79 to 268.68. Moving on to Apple. Apple created all new time highs this past week. As you can see, that all-time high was 199.62. So Apple does not have any supply at the moment. And the demand level I have for you here is going to be 184.07 to 181.68 on Apple. Moving on to Netflix. As you can see, our level held again on Netflix. Held again on Netflix. 468.93 to 485.03. We attempted to come up here and we came down. Once again, I'll provide you the same level I provided you last week for our conservative traders, 508.29 to 526.85. And on the demand side, we got 439.77 to 428.75. Moving on to Google. Once again, another equity, another stock that our levels haven't changed. These are the same levels that I've been providing for quite some time now. And on Google, that's going to be 140.29 to 143.78 on the supply side. And on the demand side, 122.83 to 118.17. Moving on to the Magnificent Seven, we got Tesla. So as you can see, our level is still holding on Tesla. I said this would be aggressive again. However, this level is holding until it breaches. We got the 249.59, 257. Be cautious of this area again. However, it is still holding Tesla. And our next level we have on the supply level is 289.16, 299.89. That has remained unchanged. And on the demand side, we got 193.47 to 177.36. Moving on to NVIDIA. Fix this real quick. Understand NVIDIA's high is 505.48. This is a very aggressive level if you elect to be on the supply side and the shorting side. 499.27 to 506.43. And as you can see, this is the level that held us up, 459.49, 449.19. This level has already worked twice. So if you elect to take it a third time, just understand that the probabilities of working have been reduced. So the next level I have for you on supply is 439.48 to 429.04. Moving on to Microsoft. Our level held again this week. You can see we came in, touched the level again and took off. So 363.81 to 357.57 is still what our demand is in Microsoft. No current supply in Microsoft. All-time high being 384.30. And the next level I have for you for my conservative traders on Microsoft is 348.66 to 343.55. And lastly, I have for you is Amazon. So Amazon closed into our level on Friday. This is a large level, a higher time frame level, and that level is going to be from 149.35 to 170.53 on the supply side, and on the demand side, we got 118.59 to 113.70. And that's going to wrap it for us with the indices, our earnings, and FANG and Magnificent Seven for the week. That's going to do it for our charts. As always, I'm going to leave you with my contact information. Once again, Luis Concepcion from Strategic Profit Line Trading. Feel free to check out the websites for upcoming courses for next year. Email me if you have any questions. Please follow me on Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Last but not least, Have a happy holiday. Have a plan for trading. I hope you had a great 7 weeks with me. And I look forward to providing this information for you starting next year. Once again, understand that Fed Powell decided to stop raising rates and is looking to start next year. So that is going to impact the market significantly. So have a plan. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Till next time, happy trading. Have a plan. See you next year.